Hi, our next section is accounting adjustments and exempt income. Before going forward, we have to understand two terms. The first one is qualifying income subject to CT at 0% tax rate. It includes income from transactions with businesses located outside the UAE, includes income from transactions with other free zone persons, includes certain passive income like dividends and capital gains from shareholdings. The other one is qualifying income subject to CT at 9% tax rate. It includes income from non-qualifying activities, includes income from the UAE mainland, includes income beyond the free zone de minimis limit. Let's go through this section. The first part of this section is accounting income, and the second part of this section is transitional adjustments, and the next one is exempt income, and the last one is international aircraft shipping income. Let's do it from the start. First, we have to understand the purpose of this section. It is used to record net profit or loss from financial statements for the tax period, provides starting point for calculating taxable income, reflects total accounting results before tax adjustments, exemptions, or reliefs used by FTA to reconcile financial statements with tax computation, ensures non-deductible expenses, exempt income, or reliefs are correctly applied to arrive at final taxable income. In the accounting income section, there is a line item written as accounting income for the tax period. It is the net profit or loss shown in financial statements for the tax period prepared under IFRS or IFRS for SMEs. This figure is before any tax adjustments. For example, ABC LLC earned AED 6 million revenue and incurred AED 4 million expenses. Accounting income will be 2 million. This figure comes from audited financial statements before tax adjustments. You can see there are two columns. The first one is qualifying income subject to CT at 0%, and the second column is other income subject to CT at 9%. In the first column, you have to paste the accounting income which is non taxable, and in the second column, you have to paste the accounting income which is subject to 9% tax. As per the accounting example, we have to segregate 2 million accounting income between these two columns as per criteria. After that, there is a question: has the taxable person derived any accounting net profit or accounting net losses from unincorporated partnerships that are treated as separate taxable persons in the current corporate tax return? My client has an unincorporated partnership, so that's why I clicked as yes. For your understanding, you people should check if taxable person earned profit or loss from unincorporated partnership registered as separate taxable person by FTA. Partners' share of profit or loss based on ownership must be reported in on tax return. For example, ABC LLC owns 30% of OSIS Partners. OSIS Partners earned 2 million profit. Then the ABC LLC profit allocation will be zero point 0.6 million. If OSIS Partners made a loss, ABC LLC reports its share proportionately. Below this question, there is a description column. This whole table reflects the unincorporated partnership financial information. There is four line items. Let's understand these line items one by one. The first one is counting net profits derived from unincorporated partnerships that are treated as separate taxable persons. It represents amount of profit partner earns from partnership independently registered for corporate tax based on ownership or profit sharing ratio recorded before corporate tax adjustments included in partners accounting income to reflect share of partnership results. The next line item is counting net losses derived from unincorporated partnerships that are treated as separate taxable persons. It represents partners' share of any loss incurred by a partnership registered as independent taxable entity. It is based on ownership or profit sharing ratio. It is taken from partnerships financial statements before corporate tax adjustments shown in partners' own accounts to reflect share of loss. The next line item is gains on the transfer, sale, or other disposal of an interest in an unincorporated partnership which meets the conditions of the participation exemption. It is the gain earned when partner transfers ownership interest in qualifying partnership. It is calculated as sale or transfer proceeds minus carrying value. It is shown in financial statements before corporate tax adjustments. It is only applies to interest meeting participation exemption criteria. The last line item is losses on the transfer, sale, or other disposal of an interest in an unincorporated partnership which meets the conditions of the participation exemption. It is the accounting loss recognized when partner transfers, sells, or disposes ownership interest in qualifying partnership. It is calculated as sale or transfer proceeds minus carrying value, only includes losses related to partnership interests meeting participation exemption criteria. It is shown before corporate tax adjustments. Let's move to the next section. It is called transitional adjustments. What is the purpose of this section? It is used to report adjustments related to assets or liabilities existing before start of corporate tax in UAE. It ensures only post tax period gains or losses are taxed. It applies to qualifying immovable property, intangible assets, financial assets, and the financial liabilities which are recorded before corporate tax. It excludes pre tax period gains or losses to ensure fair transition. The question is, has the taxable person held any qualifying immovable property, qualifying intangible assets, or qualifying financial assets, or qualifying financial liabilities during the tax period? You have two options. Answer yes if the company owned qualifying assets liabilities, then complete detailed schedules for tax return. Answer no if the company did not own qualifying assets or liabilities, then no schedules or disclosures required in the corporate tax return. The next section is exempt income. What is the purpose of this section? The purpose is to separate and identify income items that are exempt and to ensure only non exempt income is taxed at corporate tax rate. The question is, has the taxable person received any dividends or profit distribution from a UAE resident person? Answer yes. If received dividends or profit from UAE resident entity, report in UAE dividends schedule. Answer no. If no dividend received, then no schedule is required to be filled. In the current scenario, I answered yes. For filling the dividend schedule, you have to click here. A window like that will be appeared in front of us. You can download the template by clicking here, or you can simply click here, add new item. I just want to show you how downloaded template look alike. It is an Excel sheet. In the first column, you have to fill the company name. In the second column, you have to fill the company corporate tax number. And in the third column, which is the last one, you have to fill the details of profit distribution received. Then you can click here, upload completed template, and you can upload UA dividend schedule. Let's see how we can fill it online. Click on add new item. These three boxes are same as Excel 3 columns. You can simply fill the company name, company corporate tax number, and the profit distribution received. Then you can click on the add. The details of addition will be reflected here. Then you have to click on the save and back. The details then will be reflected here. The next question is, has the taxable person derived any income or losses from a participating interest? You have two options, yes or no. Answer yes if the company earned income or incurred losses from qualifying participating interest. Then you have to report it in the participation exemption schedule. Answer no if the company has no income or loss from participating interest, then you are not required to fill any participation exemption schedule. Let's say the company for which we are filing the corporate tax return has derived any income or losses from a participating interest, then how we can fill a participation exemption schedule for that company? Just click here, participation exemption schedule. A window like that will be in front of us. In the current window, two options are main. The first one is add income or loss derived from other participation, and the second one is add income or loss derived from this participation. For adding income or loss derived from other participation, you have to answer four questions. The first one is name of participation. The second one is country or jurisdiction of tax residency of that participation. The third one is corporate tax registration number, if available, of that participation. And the fourth question is confirm that the entity is resident in a jurisdiction that applies tax on a similar basis to corporate tax at a rate of at least 9%, or that the entity is subject to tax on income or profits at an effective tax rate of at least 9%. It is a sort of acknowledgement for adding income or loss from the participation about which we have answered above four questions. We have to click here. In this section, we have to answer seven questions. The first one is nature of income or loss derived from this participation. The second one is amount of income derived from the participation to be exempted. The third one is amount of losses derived from the participation to be exempted. The fourth one is what percentage of ownership interest in the participation did the taxable person and any members of the same qualifying group as the taxable person hold on the date at which the income or loss was derived from the participation. The fifth one is historical acquisition cost of the ownership interest held by the taxable person and any members of the same qualifying group as the taxable person. The sixth one is date at which the income or loss was derived from the participation. And the seventh one is, did the taxable person hold the minimum ownership interest, which is 5% of share capital, for at least 4 million AED, which will be the acquisition cost for an uninterrupted period of 12 months prior to driving the income or loss. These seven questions are little bit tricky. It is recommended to answer these questions before consulting a corporate tax consultant. By answering these questions in a casual way may attract non-compliance, and the corporate tax return filer may face penalties. So don't forget to consult an expert before answering these questions. After answering these questions, you have to click on the add. When you will click on the add, the details of the entity will be reflected here. After that, you have to click on the save and back. Hence, you will be back on the main screen of the section. The schedule of the participation exemption will be appeared below the question. Let's move on to the next area, which is international aircraft or shipping income. What is the purpose of this section? It reports income earned from operating aircraft or ships in international transportation that qualifies for corporate tax exemption. It identifies and discloses exempt income separately from taxable income. It includes transporting passengers, goods, or mail between UAE and other countries or between foreign destinations with reciprocal tax exemption. This section confirms that this income is excluded from taxable income. The question is, did the taxable person derive income from the operation of aircraft or ships in international transportation which is exempt from corporate tax? In the current scenario, for my client, I have selected yes. You should answer yes. If the company earned income from aircraft or ships internationally qualifies for corporate tax exemption, this income is exempt only if UAE entities in other country have same exemption. It report exempt amount in relevant tax return section. Answer no if the company did not earn qualifying income. In that case, you are not required to report anything. The next question is, in which country is the taxable person is resident? In my current corporate tax return, the taxable person is the resident of Pakistan. That's why the system is automatically fetching the details from the database and showing the person as Pakistani resident. In the next table, we have two line items. The first one is income derived in the UAE from operating ships or aircrafts. It is the total accounting income earned in UAE from ship or aircraft operations during tax period. It includes revenue from transporting passengers, goods, or mail between UAE locations or ports. It is based on gross income in financial statements before corporate tax adjustments. It captures all UAE source income from ownership, leasing, or management arrangements. The next line item is expenditure associated with operating ships or aircraft. These are the total accounting expenditure incurred for operating ships or aircraft. These includes fuel, crew wages, maintenance, port or airport fees, insurance, leasing costs, and other operational expenses. It reflects actual expenses in financial statements before corporate tax adjustments. After filling all these details, you have to click on the next step. Congratulations, you have completed this section successfully. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, and press the bell icon. We will meet again in the next video with a more technical discussion. Thank you.